What's up, guys? These are going to be my reviews from the 28th and also the 21st. Didn't pick up my books that day, so going to just do them all right now. Timestamps will be down below if you want to avoid any type of spoilers. I try to avoid them as much as I can, but sometimes it just happens. But yeah, I got a big stack here, 13 books. They're not separated by week, so this is going to be from ascending to, they're in ascending order, least to most favorite, from the past 2 weeks. So suppose I'll get right into it. First, we have Lobster Johnson, Ascent of Lotus, Part 2 of 2. Not that I didn't like this book. I just feel like when you're writing a 2-part miniseries, you need to make sure that the reader is invested, because you only have 2 issues to tell whatever story you want to tell, obviously. And I just didn't feel, I wasn't super into it. Lobster Johnson's a character that I really enjoy. The artwork is fantastic, but I guess the story just didn't really capture me. But I'm still gonna be picking up all the Hellboy related stuff. So I'm not gonna complain about that too terribly much. Just it wasn't my favorite Lobster Johnson story ever. Next, we have Trinity of Sin, Pandora, number 3, the Trinity War tie-in. Just when I thought that I wanted to drop Pandora after Trinity War is over, it actually gets interesting again. We finally get some more information about the 7 deadly sins that she released. She actually, devises a way that she thinks that she can destroy them. So, it's seeming like this book might be interesting moving forward. I'm not entirely sure if I want to get issue 4. I guess it'll all depend on whether I have a heavy week or not that week. But yeah, Pandora was actually pretty good. Next, we have Adventures of Superman number 4. I love this cover, the Bruce Timm cover, I think. There was one story in artwork in here that I didn't like at all, but the other 2 I did. The first one more focused on Lex and his daily process, and how his plans to destroy Superman sort of work their way into his daily process. And of course, you have Superman, alongside. They're telling the story of Superman sort of fighting one of Lex's creations. So I think that's one really interesting thing about this book, is they're not just Superman stories. They're also stories about other people in Superman's world. So yeah, this Adventures of Superman, they can tell some really interesting stories in this book, and I'm glad that I've been picking that up. Next, we have Itty Bitty Hellboy, number 1 of 5. I thought this was pretty fantastic. Really, really cool artwork. Definitely a more kiddie take on Hellboy, but the artwork I think is fantastic. It's just a fun read. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I read is really, really heavy. I read a lot of like paranormal type stuff, and it can get a little intense sometimes. So it's nice to have a book like this that you don't have to take too seriously. It's just really fun. I know these guys do a lot of other work similar to this, so I was very confident in its quality picking it up. But Itty Bitty Hellboy is definitely worth checking out. I mean, if you're not familiar with the whole Hellboy universe, you might not know who some of the characters are, but I guess it really doesn't matter. It's not the heaviest story in the world. So Itty Bitty Hellboy was a great book. I'm happy that I picked it up, and I'm going to be picking that up moving forward. Next, we have BPRD Hell on Earth, number 110. Starting a new story arc. I forget what it's called. Lake of Fire, I want to say. We finally get Liz back. It seems like this story is going to take place on a much smaller scale than the last few. Less open world, bigger cities. It seems like it's going to deal a lot with Liz and her recovery. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate. That's just what I gathered from this issue, but it's going to deal with her and sort of maybe some sketchy people that she meets along the way in her recovery. We got a little reveal at the end of this issue, but BPRD has been an awesome book. The last story arc was fantastic. One of the best BPRD stories that I have read, and also I find reading this book and Abe Sapien at the same time is very interesting because they deal with sort of the same backdrop. They're taking place in the same time in the Hellboy continuity, right alongside each other. So it's cool to see how the world evolves and changes from the different perspective of multiple characters. Abe in his book, and also differing BPRD characters in this book. So it's definitely a cool experience to read both of those books, and BPRD is going to be a really cool story arc with Liz and stuff like that. So yeah. Next, we have Daredevil number 30. This was just a one-shot. Chris Samney back on artwork. I've never been the biggest fan of Silver Surfer. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I haven't, read a lot of Silver Surfer stuff. But I did enjoy this issue quite a bit. If you're looking for a jump-on point, this is a pretty good time because this is a pretty self-contained issue. They sort of tangle with a very different type of character that I had never heard of before, and it was it was interesting to get to learn about that character, and also a little bit about Silver Surfer as well. So I guess I would consider myself more of a Silver Surfer fan after reading that. I just hadn't exposed myself to it. And next we have both Justice League Dark 23 and Justice League 23 Trinity Wars Part 5 and 6. I've been enjoying the Trinity War so far, and I was happy with how it ended. I just hate the internet, and I'm pissed that I spoiled it for myself. Well, I saw it on Twitter, and I kind of wish that I hadn't, because I knew, reading the last issue of Justice League the entire time what was going to happen. So yeah, and I've seen the solicitations for Forever Evil, and you can see the characters that show up in that. But overall, I enjoyed the Trinity War. I think that was a very fitting end, and I can't wait to read Forever Evil. I was kind of on the fence about it, but now I think after finding out how the Trinity War ends, that's something that I'm going to be picking up for certain. Next, we have Batman Superman number 3. I will say that there hasn't been a whole lot of action in any of these issues, but I don't have a big problem with that. My favorite part about this series is the interactions between the two Supermans and the two Batmans, sort of their banters back and forth. You get to see what Wonder Woman's beef with Lois is from the end of the last issue, and also obviously Darkseid's going to be coming into the story at some point. So this is a really cool book. I love Jay Lee's artwork, but I am hearing that he is going to be off the issue after issue 4, I want to say, maybe issue 5, and then he's going to be alternating story arcs with, what's his name, Brett Booth, who has a much more conventional style, I would say, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like alternating story arcs between an artist like Jay Lee with such a unique and different art style with someone with a much more conventional style, it might be a little weird going back and forth, especially if they're trying to tell a continuous story. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'm going to enjoy that book until Jay Lee leaves, and we'll see how it plays out after that. Next, we have, and all three of these I would say are tied for my pick of the week, pick of the last 2 weeks, I guess. No surprise here really, but this is The Flash number 23. At the mercy of Reverse Flash, we get this continued battle with Reverse Flash that started in the last issue. We also get a reveal about who Reverse Flash is, and I don't know if you've been reading this series from the start, and if that meant something to you, let me know, because I've only been reading this since issue 19, I want to say. And I don't think it was as impactful on me as it may have been on someone who has been reading the story from the start. But yeah, I'm pumped for the Reverse Flash Villains issue. That's the only Flash one that I'm picking up. Going to be sort of his origin story, which is going to be awesome. And then also this story arc is going to conclude in issue 24 after Villains Month is over. So also can't wait for that. Next, we have Wonder Woman number 23. This was the cover of the week. hands down. This is sort of the final battle with the Firstborn, at least for now. I'm still sort of, as with The Flash, I picked up this book kind of late, and I'm still trying to sort of figure out everybody's relationships to each other, which I think is definitely a big part of the story. But other than that, I think it's been, it's been fantastic. There's been a few deaths in the last couple issues that have been kind of major. And with issue 24, we see Wonder Woman going to hell, I guess, carrying one of these, people who have died. So that issue was great, and I can't wait to read that going forward. I'm definitely getting both of the Wonder Woman Villains Month issues. There's a Cheetah one and also a Firstborn one, so can't wait for those. And then finally, we have Animal Man number 23, Reign of Brother Blood. I don't like this cover, but I'm looking forward to Albuquerque coming on the artwork at issue 24. But as we saw in the last issue, Brother Blood is trying to become connected with the Red like Buddy is. He's trying to, be able to infiltrate the Red, and obviously he does so based on this cover, but he does so in a sort of surprising way with the help of someone you wouldn't really expect. And we also get a lot of Maxine's interactions within the Red in this issue, which I don't enjoy as much as Buddy storylines, but it's still pretty cool. Got some like animal pirates in the Red and stuff. So Animal Man 23 was a good issue as always. I feel like that book's really picked up since the end of Raw World. Jeff Lemire's finding his groove again. So if you're looking for a book to pick up, any of those last 3 books that I mentioned, The Flash, Wonder Woman, or Animal Man, have all been fantastic. So that's all my singles for this week. I haven't read any trades. I've been working on reading, even though I've read it before, working on a reread of Alan Moore's Saga of the Swamp Thing, Volume 2. Starts off with the Arcane storyline, which is one of my favorite Swamp Thing stories. So yeah, I was trying to finish reading this last night, but I got to the issue with, what's it called, Pog, with these characters who talk in gibberish the entire time, and I was like, it's too late for that. I'm not just gonna sit here and try and figure out what's going on. So I'll probably talk about that next week if I have time to finish it. But those are all my reviews for this week. Thanks for watching. I'll be watching some videos today, and I'll be catching up with you guys, and I will talk to you guys again soon.